As we went about this search to find our next coach, someone that could lead our program to success, it was important that we find somebody that, first and foremost, recognizes the opportunity and the potential that our program has. Someone that has experience building a program from the ground up and is committed to building it in a sustainable way. Someone that understands the Midwest and has ties to our recruiting territory. Someone that truly believes in the life-changing opportunity that sport can provide to young people, both now in the present and beyond. Someone that demonstrates a love for the members of their team while at the same time pushing them to be the best that they can be. And someone that can embrace the changing landscape that we're living in right now. We conducted a national search. The level of interest in this position was very high. The strength of our women's sport programs here at Wisconsin led many candidates to believe what I believe, and that is that the women's basketball program at Wisconsin has the potential to be great, like many of our other women's programs. That's really a testament to the strength of women's athletics at Wisconsin. Make no mistake, it will not be easy. It will require a significant commitment from all of us, from our coaches, from our players, from our administration, from our fans, all of us. But I believe it can be done. It was important to find someone that understands what it will take for us to achieve those goals. And I believe I found the right person to do that. I'm confident, given that with some time, you too will see that Coach Pingeton will be a great addition to our organization and that she'll help turn this program around. And with that, I'd ask that you please join me in welcoming Coach Pingeton as our next women's basketball coach.
Well, thank you. I feel super honored and blessed to stand here today as your head women's basketball coach at the University of Wisconsin. You know, there's been so many people along the way that have had a huge impact on my coaching journey, and way too many to acknowledge, but I'd be remiss if I didn't mention a few of them. First and foremost, my husband Rich and my two sons, Blake and Zach. I can tell you this, it's not easy to be the spouse or a kid of a coach. It's just not easy. They've allowed me to pursue something that I'm extremely passionate about over the years and have been very patient with the time that I have and the amount of time that I spend with other people. They've walked beside me every step of this journey, and most importantly, they loved me for who I am and not for what I do. So thank you. Lisa Bluter, she was my head coach at St. Ambrose University and the one that really encouraged me to pursue this coaching profession and gave me my first opportunity at the age of 21 to be an assistant coach at Drake University. Dr. Ed Rogalski, former president of St. Ambrose University, asked me to be the head coach at my alma mater at the age of 23. My dear friend and mentor, Bill Fenley, who gave me an opportunity to be an associate head coach at Iowa State. President Al Bowman and Leanna Bordner, who hired me to be the head coach at Illinois State. Mike Alden, who hired me at the University of Missouri, as well as Laird Veach and President Moon Choi. To all my former assistant coaches and former support staff and players, along the way, there's been a lot of them over the years, and they've impacted my life greatly, and I know I would not be here without them. And last but not least, and most importantly, Chancellor Manukin, Mac, Marcus, the athletic board. Thank you for believing in me and giving me an opportunity to be a part of this great and incredible community and university. I'm very grateful, appreciative, and I'm beyond fired up. When I was at Illinois State, I always had my eye on this job, and I thought it would be a really, really special place to coach someday. And now, full circle, 7 years later, here we are today. In my conversations with Mac and Marcus, it was very evident we aligned in our values, but also our vision for this women's basketball program. There's a blueprint here at Wisconsin. As you know, so many of our sports have had great success. Our national champions in women's hockey, men's basketball, volleyball, and many, many others. And I look forward to collaborating and working alongside so many great coaches at this university. I believe every stop along the way has truly prepared me for this next opportunity. Wisconsin is going to get the best version of me after spending a decade and a half in the SEC. I believe that experience is the best teacher. Our teams have been in tussles with some of the best, as well as competing against and beating several top 25 programs, as well as top 10. But the one thing I know for sure is we have to lock down the borders if we want to bring women's basketball back to the level of excellence that I know we all want. We're going to work very hard to keep the best players in this state right here at home at the University of Wisconsin. I'm a Midwesterner, I'm blue collar, I'm a lifelong learner, and a tireless worker. I'm going to give you my all every day, but I'm definitely going to need your help. I'm not afraid to knock on doors, and I'm not afraid to pick up the phone and make calls. I just ask that you let us in, that you answer your phone, and that you choose to be a part of this journey with us. We want to build relationships and acquire new friends from Washburn to Beloit to Prescott to Sturgeon Bay and everybody in between. But we need you, and we're going to ask you to partner with us as we build this program. I also recognize that we have an incredible high school association here in Wisconsin, as well as very talented coaches, high school, AAU programs, NAI, Division I, II, and III. This is a great state for women's basketball. But that's not all. We're going to be knocking down the doors of our surrounding states and nationally as well. We want this place to be a destination. It really comes down to building relationships, real, honest, genuine relationships, and we plan to do just that. I believe with the declining trust in institutions, I found that the quickest way to build trust is to add value to someone's livelihood. That's our operational muscle. We look forward to welcoming back and embracing our alumni. They have so many great stories and have created lifelong memories and created a sisterhood, and we're going to need them to tell their stories to our future recruits. To this community here in Madison and the surrounding areas, I know there's been tremendous support for college athletics, women's college athletics here at Wisconsin, and we invite you to be a part of our women's basketball family. We'll put a product on the court that's going to make you very proud. We're going to play really, really hard. We're going to play with a lot of energy and passion, and most importantly, we're going to play together. So I want to thank you again. I want to welcome two assistant coaches, Chris Bracey, McGee Mann, just very, very skilled, talented, hardworking, passionate, and most importantly, great human beings. Now, it's time to wake up the sleeping giant. What do we say? On Wisconsin, and go Badgers.
Thank you, Mac. Thank you, Coach. Do we have questions for either? Start on the left.
Robin, Jim Polzine from the Wisconsin State Journal. You've used the word sleeping giant a couple times now. Can you elaborate on why you think this place is that?
I sure can. Thank you. Nice to meet you. I think, one, there's a blueprint here, as I mentioned. So many other sports have had so much success here. I think there's a lot of tremendous players in this state. I think we're in a great location. I think it's a beautiful campus. It's got phenomenal facilities. We're in a great location. And I've seen it done here before. Jane Albright, Lisa Stone had some great years, both very good friends of mine. And so I think it's a matter of getting people to believe in each other, working really, really hard, and I think we can create something really special together.
Mark in the middle.
Coach, sorry about that. Mark Stewart, Milwaukee Journal Sentinel. You've been part of a couple other rebuilding efforts, and I know you kind of talk about the collective effort that needs to go into making that happen. I guess I'm wondering if you can kind of expand a little more on what else is kind of key to really, starting that turnaround.
Yeah, nice to meet you, Mark. Thank you. It takes a village, it really does. I think great attention to detail. I believe in how you do anything, you do everything. I think it takes a relentless approach to recruiting, which is why I had to write so much down today. Usually I speak off the cuff and from the heart, but the portal and the phones have been really, really busy. And, I think really recruiting players that align with your vision, that are tireless workers, that have an uncommon work ethic, that do more than what's required, that have a skill set to play in your system, and that are passionate about being here at the University of Wisconsin.
Carly.
Coach, I'm Carly Murata with WKOW back here. Welcome, first of all.
Thank you.
Why do you feel like you're the right person to turn this program around?
Like I said, I've always looked at this job from afar, and you never know when jobs are going to open up and, the transition and whatnot. But in my conversations, to be really honest with you, with Mac and Marcus, just so like-minded. I think our heart postures are all in the same place. I think Midwest roots of just really hard work and discipline and passion for what we do. I would say certainly this is a beautiful state. We're in a great location. You've got great education here. You've got great resources. But in my opinion, the people make the place. And I aligned with their vision for what this could look like. And you talk about it's going to take a lot of hard work and it's going to take some time, and I understand that. I'm not a very patient person. And so I'm really excited to hit the ground running, and I think we have a chance to do something really special here.
Sean, third row.
Coach Sean Davis, State Journal. You mentioned the in-state recruiting. Just what's going to be key to kind of putting a border around this state, seeing kind of what other kind of neighboring schools have been able to kind of come in and lure players, and what have you seen from the talent level when you've recruited Wisconsin before that makes you excited about getting a better opportunity to lure them into Madison?
Yeah, that's a great question. I would say, again, I think it all comes down to relationships, real relationships, not just calling coaches or AAU coaches when you need something, but also being a resource for them when they have players and when they don't have players. And I think, the time and commitment and consistency, the way you show up every day and interact with the youth of this community and this state, to be a present, to be seen, to walk alongside is going to be so important. And again, I think we've had a lot of great players that, sometimes recruiting hometown kids are the hardest kids to get to stay around. It sounds great in theory, but a lot of, young student athletes look forward to the opportunity to get away and have some distance from home. And that's not always the case, but sometimes. But I just think relationships are the key. I've been really blessed over the years. I formed a lot of great relationships, especially in this area when I was at Illinois State. A lot of those same coaches are in place, same AAU coaches, programs. And the bordering states are going to be huge too. It's not just players from Wisconsin. We want to, continue to build on those relationships with our neighboring states, and we want to recruit nationally as well. And so we want to find players, again, that are really passionate, have a great work ethic, fit our style of play, and that are fired up to be a part of something really special here.
John, and back on the right.
John Audius, Badger Radio Network, welcome. You talked about collaborating with so many great coaches here at Wisconsin. Have you had a chance to speak with any coaches, and what does that collaboration look like?
Several of them. They've been great about reaching out with a text or stopping by the office, and I'm really excited. I mean, there's a lot of success here, and I'm a coach that wants to learn and grow, and like I said, I'm a lifelong learner. I'll be asking to pop into practice, whether it's volleyball or hockey or men's basketball, football. Like I just, I want to learn from other people. And I think there's so many tremendous coaches here. I think collaboration looks different in a lot of ways, but sharing ideas, recruiting processes, visits, there's a plethora of things that fall under that. But I think, when you really get that synergy together as head coaches and administration and support staff, and we're all looking, and driving in that same direction, some really magical things can happen.
Right down the middle in the fifth row.
Jesse Temple, The Athletic. Robin, you mentioned you feel like Wisconsin will be getting the best version of you. Why do you believe that? And as a follow-up, what do you think you learned from the last stretch at Missouri when perhaps things didn't go your way that you can use with you here?
Yeah, I think there's so many lessons that we learn in life. And to me, every day I wake up trying to be better than I was the day before. And I just think the experience of playing in another very, very talented league, playing against some of the best and strategizing, game planning, developing, recruiting, just everything that you're exposed to, within a decade and a half of another conference that's very, very elite. And so I think those experiences and opportunities and successes and times that we fell short, there's so many opportunities to learn and grow.
Mike.
Was there a second part to that question?
First part was you said at the outset you feel like Wisconsin will be getting the best version of yourself.
Yeah, I think experience is the best teacher, and I think as you go through the journey of life, if you've got a mindset that you can learn and grow and adjust, and everything that happens to you is in your best interest, and I think you got a chance to really do some special things. And so, I'll be relying on the last, it's been a 25, 30 years of coaching at all my stops that I think have prepared me for this moment.
Standing in the right.
Hi, Coach. Mike Chalks, WMTV here in Madison. Once you get your players in here with some time, and I know you're impatient, but once you get your players in here, what kind of basketball will we see from a Coach Pingeton team?
We want to play up tempo for sure. We want to play early in the shot clock. We want to play in transition. Offensively, we really like positionless basketball, where you're really teaching the game and not putting your players in a box, but where they're able to read and react. You've got to have great footwork, great decision making. That's a learned skill, I think, for a lot of college players. Separation, spacing. Defensively, we want to be really disruptive. And we kind of just want to be a pain. We want to keep other teams on their toes. We want to switch up our defense. We also will be scouting report based. And so as we dive deeper into teams and what are their strengths and what are their weaknesses and how can we put our players in the best position possible. You're going to find a team that's going to play, like I said, really hard. We're going to emphasize rebounding. Rebounding is always a big, piece of the puzzle for us. And just to be relentless on both ends and create those extra possessions is really important. You're going to find a team that's going to play with a lot of passion, a lot of togetherness, and for love for the game.
Third row on the left.
Robin, Jim Polsey from the State Journal again. You mentioned that you're friends with Jane and Lisa.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry if you mentioned this. Did you have conversations with them? I'm curious if you've picked their brain at all during this process and try to get to learn more about their experiences here.
To be honest with you, a little bit. Not Jane. Jane and I stay in touch. I've known her for many, many years. And, that's the kind of friendship that I think, no matter how much time or distance passes, you just kind of pick up where you left off. So just an incredible person and somebody that I really admire and respect. And then Lisa actually played college basketball at Iowa with my sister, Lisa. So I've known Lisa Stone for a long time. And, over the years, just the recruiting trail and our paths have crossed a lot. But I did reach out to her and talk about her time here. And, this is a place that she's very passionate about, very grateful for her time here and loves this community and the state and has a lot of great memories and fantastic things to say about this university.
Third row on the right.
Hi, I'm Gabriella Hartlaub with the Daily Cardinal. You talked a little bit about this before, but the Big Ten is a really competitive conference. We're against USC, UCLA, just to name a few. what's one or two things that you're going to bring from your experience with competition in the SEC to kind of taking on these big teams in the Big Ten?
Yeah, I think one of the biggest challenges will be, and again, both conferences great, right? You even look at the Final Four and, just March. But I think one of the biggest challenges of being a new coach in a new conference is honestly learning other coaching styles and tendencies and, how they respond after timeouts, and just really taking a deeper dive so you're prepared for those kind of adjustments that you need to make as a coach. And you watch it on film and, you get a baseline, but I think once you're in those situations, you just learn and grow as you go through it. But certainly, college women's basketball right now is at an all-time high. We have some tremendous coaches across the country, some tremendous players, and I've been really blessed in the last decade and a half that I think that experience will help me be prepared for the Big Ten.
Standing in the back again.
Carly Murata again with WKOW. So many players entered the transfer portal from Wisconsin, so you're really starting with the clean slate. What's the challenge with that, and are you going to reach out to some of those players like Sarah Williams to see if they're interested, and come back here?
Yeah, we're at an interesting time, I would say, in college athletics, and just with the change in landscape with portal and revenue share and just everything that goes into that. But I think it's a really exciting time, too, and I think you've got to be able to embrace it as a coach. We're so used to, when you talk about rebuilding a program, I think in years past, you'd look at, okay, you have to bring in that freshman class that can really be your anchor. And maybe by the time they're juniors or seniors, you've established and changed, the tide of your program. But, I think we're really operating now more in a pro style with the revenue share and the portal and, being able to bring in players that have really good game experience, that are more mature. They've played at a high level, and an opportunity to really be selective. Who fits your style? Who has an uncommon work ethic? It's almost like speed dating, although I've never speed date. We've been married for almost 25 years, but everything happens so quickly. But you still have to do your due diligence, right? And really, you got to call their former coaches. You've got to call their high school coaches, their AAU coaches. Now everybody has an agent, and just really try to do your due diligence so you know and understand. And really, I think, be so transparent. In our portal calls right now, I'm trying to be transparent to a fault. This is who I am. This is what we have to offer. This is our vision. This is what we're looking for. Do we align? Do you have an interest? Or, you just keep it moving. And I don't think you settle. I think there's non-negotiables for me. There's absolutely non-negotiables. And I have a vision and a passion for what I do. And I'm excited to put Wisconsin women's basketball back on the map.
Zach, standing in the middle.
Hey, Coach. Zach Hanley from Channel 3 here in Madison. You mentioned that you had your eye on this job a couple of years ago, or just the program in general. Curious what drew you to that, during that time, and then has it changed during this process? Has anything changed?
Yeah, it's one of those things growing up in the Midwest that I don't know why, but it's so funny. So this is the honest truth. Once I accepted this position, I was talking to a couple of my college friends and coaching friends, and several of them reminded me of, this is the job you've always talked about. This is crazy that it's come full circle. And so, it definitely was something, and I don't know, I can't recall back, what exactly it was, but it was always a place that I thought, I've heard so many great things about it. Has it changed today? No, if anything, I'm even more excited. I mean, I haven't spent time in Madison, and so, when I had a chance to come up and, again, just a beautiful place, the incredible university, but the people make the place. I'm going to go back to that, and everybody that I've interacted with has nothing but positive things to say, and so much excitement and realness to them that I know this is a special place, and I feel very blessed and honored to be a part of it, and I can't wait to get to work. Actually, I've already been at work. That portal is nonstop right now.
Any further questions for Coach? Yeah, Sean.
Sean Davis again, State Journal. What have you seen in, you mentioned just how busy it's been with the portal. What have you seen in terms of talking to players? Like, is it more so like seniors or juniors going out for like one last ride, or what are you looking for specifically beyond kind of who fits your system? What have you taken kind of from Mizzou in the first couple of years of the portal that you feel like sets you up better here?
Yeah, well, for sure, you got to be on top of your game. I mean, you're checking that portal 24/7, your staff and myself as well. But what I've seen in the portal is, it varies from freshmen to grad students. I've seen that everybody's got an agent. I've seen that revenue sharing is a real thing. But I've also seen, I think everybody's journey is a little bit different. So I don't think you can put them all in a certain box and say, they just, they're in it for whatever reason. I think you've got all different experiences, and everybody's looking for something different. And I think for me and my staff, it's really, understanding their journey, understanding their vision, and seeing if we align in who we are and what we're about. So again, I would go back to relationships are important, them understanding our vision, how we're going to do things. Again, how you do anything is how you do everything. The work ethic, the expectation. We want players that are truly passionate about this game, that have an uncommon work ethic, that want to get in the gym. My goal, and I've already said this to our returning players, which, I think I missed part of that question back there earlier, but we've already said to our returning players, our goal is to have to talk to the command center and get them to keep those lights on until about 11 o'clock at night instead of 10. So if we're doing that, we're in pretty good shape, right? We got players that want to be in the gym, but, we want them to have the holistic experience athletically, academically, as a college student athlete. It's the modern student athlete, times have changed. What they have on their plate is something that really very few of us can relate to. It's just changed dramatically. And so to be able to walk alongside them and lock arms with them and understand their journey and be like-minded in what we're trying to accomplish, I think is really important.
Jim again.
Chris, I have one for you. Robin brought up revenue sharing, and I know the settlement, we're not quite there yet. Can you describe to us where women's basketball fits in the revenue sharing picture here?
Yeah, I can. Women's basketball is a sport that we're going to invest in. There's going to be a 7-figure revenue share for women's basketball, of course, assuming that the settlement's approved here in the next month.
Any further questions? If not, thank you again for attending and looking forward to you establishing relationships with our new head coach, Robin Pingeton.